Today, speaking of useful, I'm going to talk about our Kickass lady. Back to
Hmm.
the Yankees. I don't know why they've come up twice already. This is not a Yankee pod, um, at all. So our Kickass lady, though, does cover the Yankees. Marley Rivera.
Yes.
Um, she's a sports writer and reporter who has worked for ESPN and ESPN Deportes since 2011, and she recently signed a multi-year extension. She's also a contributor to ESPN Radio and ESPN Deportes Radio. I don't know why online kept like separating all these, like they were different
I
divisions.
wonder if they're. Oh, well. I
They're
want.
all
Does
owned by
Disney maybe
Disney.
sub? I don't know. I don't know. Not a business pod. Don't know.
Yeah, not a business pod at all. Um, so she was born and raised in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and she moved to the mainland US as a teenager. So she is bilingual. And if you notice some of her tweets, so I've seen some reporters will do like two different tweets.
Yeah.
She'll do a lot of tweets that like just the first half is English and the second half is Spanish. Like she doesn't
Hmm.
even do different tweets. Like it's all there in
Yeah.
one,
Well,
which
I
is
could see in your writing maybe doing like two columns or something, but especially on Twitter, just hit translate. It's that easy.
right.
So
But it's like the same tweet, but it's like in the same little thing. But
yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's two. But anyway, she's done a lot of charitable work on Puerto Rico. In
Hmm.
Puerto Rico, I don't know how you say that for an island, but especially after Hurricane Maria hit. So she was an editorial producer and writer at Major League Baseball Advanced Media and a reporter and editor at Univision Communications, before she started at ESPN Deportes Digital, which I guess is more like the online content.
Yeah.
And then she got named the New York Yankees beat writer. But she's actually the second Latina to cover the New York Yankees. Claire Smith was the first, who is like her mentor and idol.
Oh,
And we
nice.
think of her as a Yankees reporter because obviously we favor baseball around here, but
Mhm.
she's covered all pro New York sports like over the past 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm sure like in different depth, but I think that's cool. Um, it says second woman of color to have covered the Yankees as the beat. Sorry, not second Latina.
Oh,
Um, but she's currently the only Latina national baseball writer and commentator for ESPN and ESPN Deportes, and the only woman to have been a color commentator for ESPN Deportes Radio for MLB's All-Star Game, postseason, and World Series broadcast. And in 2017, she was named one of the 30 most influential Hispanics in sports by Sports Illustrated. And the reason we chose her this week rather than any other week that would have been fitting during baseball season is last Sunday there was at a post-game press conference. I guess the Yankees lost. And she asked Clinton Frazier, "Do you think you're a good starting left fielder?" Because that position has been up for debate on
yeah.
their team. Um, and Clint, I love Clint from afar, but he
Hmm.
seems to have these moments of greatness and then kind of like Pache for us, like you can see it's
Yeah.
there, but sometimes you're like, "Oh, you're not quite there yet."
We're
Like, but you're
gonna put
you're
you
gonna
in
be
anyway,
great, but
but
you're not there yet.
yeah.
Um, and he said, "Yeah, yeah, 3 years." And then a lot of people made fun of her on social media. Like, what a stupid question to ask. Why would you ask someone if they think they're a good, like, left fielder? And Clint, like, came to her aid and, like, she came to her own aid and was like, I have that
Yeah.
relationship with him. Like, I've known him since he came into the organization. Like, we talk like that. Like, we're friends, whatever, whatever. And I thought this was cool. He changed his walk up song to Yell by Usher,
Yeah, I saw
kind of
that.
as a FU to everyone who was like hating on her question and his answer. So I thought that was cool because we need reporters that can have that kind of access. And we've talked
Yeah.
before about how it is hard for female reporters, especially to kind of like what have they missed out on the years not being in that good old boys club, and for Clinton, who knows who else, to let Marley in like that, and for her to have developed those relationships with the players.
Yeah.
That they also defend her against the trolls and not just kind of like leave her out to dry. Is really cool. But she's definitely worked hard, and we'll see her for years to come. And I know we give ESPN baseball a lot of hate, but she is one of the very biggest highlights of their coverage.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I've really, I mean, she's the Yankees beat, person, but she just
Still love her,
covers
though.
baseball well overall, and I just like that she kind of like, I mean, she's not like rude about it, but she definitely snaps back to people and doesn't take their crap. So, we like that. For sure.